If you know me, you know I love some web cameras and I love to record videos, and this is, of course, going to be something I'm going to have joy doing. This is the Logitech MX Brio. Now, this is an Ultra HD 4K streaming web camera that can actually do 30 frames per second at 4K. Now, if we really want to, guys, drop it down to 2K, 1080p, that's up to you with this. Now, 1080p will do 60 frames per second. Now, this is a USB-C web camera with built-in web camera cover or privacy cover. Now, when we pop this out, you're going to be greeted, of course, with the actual camera itself. Now, nice large piece, does have dual microphones with this, and has this nice little spinny piece that will actually open the lens or close it for protection. It does have, of course, that built-in monitor stand for us, guys. And I'm going to just start pulling the plastic off of this to kind of show you guys that. We're trying to not making too much of a mess. Now, it's a multi-use stand. Now, this is, of course, your monitor mount. It's going to have, of course, the back piece that's going to fold down for it, but we do need to pull the plastic off a little for that. We're going to then pop it down right here, just like this, guys. We're going to slide this down. It's going to give us that ability of adjustment for the actual monitor. Now, yes, this piece is, of course, magnetic and comes off. So the monitor mount comes off to greet you with the tripod connection down below. Now, like I said, you guys will be greeted with, of course, the tripod stand down below, which wasn't in the previous styles of these. It was there, but you had to pry these off with this. Magnetic, so it means you guys can set it up there, you can adjust it, twist it, and adjust every position you want. Has, of course, the beautiful little mount right here that's going to allow you to set it up on, of course, your actual monitor without marring the surface. Now, yes, you're going to need the cabling. The cabling will be inside the package underneath for that. Now, it's, of course, in this inner box. Now, it's a thicker cable. I do recommend using this USB-C to USB-C cable from them because of the thickness. It's going to allow that data that you need to, of course, transfer to. Now, this is going to, of course, work with the Logitech Studio, so you guys will have the Studio to work with that. What I'm going to actually undo is, of course, Velcro it. And then we're going to plug it straight in, of course, to my USB-C drive or plug right on my PC. And we're going to plug in the back to this. Now, I'm going to actually, and I'm going to pull down, of course, the mount. And we're going to set this up on my monitor just like that. Now, that's the actual cool part. It's already on my monitor and we're ready to go. Easily set up and we're going to be ready to rock with this. Now, I'm going to change camera views. You guys can see the camera, the software, and everything else in with this. We now have it hooked up. You guys have seen me through my other camera, but we have it hooked up, and we have, of course, the Logitech software right here in the studio. Now, of course, you guys will see the multiple devices I have hooked up. We have the MX Brio. Now, the MX Brio does have what's called beam-forming microphones built into this device. So it's going to actually be able to hear every word that you want. It's also got what's called auto light correction. It's going to allow for that, of course, with this and that Ultra HD. Now, with this, we have, of course, right here, it's going to say Ultra HD web camera. It's going to allow you to do AI enhancements with image quality, fine controls, and all of that in between. It's also going to allow you to do all the other pieces that we need. We don't really need to see that because we're just going to pop it on and start doing this just from the get-go. Now, yes, I can enlarge this, but then you guys won't be seeing all of the software that you need to see up in the corner. So we're going to actually enlarge this to a certain point of connectability, and we're going to, of course, enlarge it down here so you guys can see my image better, but we're going to make it set up so you guys can actually see the software on hand as well. Now, that is actually very quickly, simply set for this. Now, we have that all over here, and of course, we have the default presets. We have the show mode. We can turn that off where it doesn't have the show mode at all. Now, it's got what's called position sensing. So for this, if I want to zoom in, we can actually adjust the zoom and the ability of where we want to connect it up. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're going to pull the zoom back out because that is a really clear picture for plug and play. I haven't adjusted anything with this. And yes, we can adjust stuff like the exposure if we want. Auto exposure, I can turn it off, and then all of a sudden it gets dark. I can bring it back up here. Low light compensation, if I want to turn it off, we can. HDR, of course, we can turn on and off. The HDR off, of course, is a little bit more finicky with this. Now, the image, we can clear the image up by doing like the temperature compensation. We are in, of course, the middle. If I drop it down, it's going to change, of course, the temperature. Bring it back, and it's going to change it again. Restore the defaults because that's where I want it. It actually looks really, really good there. Your focus, it has autofocus, but I can turn the autofocus off. Now, with that, of course, I always do a focus test of the watch to see how well it can actually focus in on the watch up to, of course, with this. Now, right there is actually clear. When I bring it in, of course, it's going to, be like this, but then it's going to take a second to clear up. But once it does, look how clear that really is. Now, it does take a little second to, of course, that, and look, you guys see the autofocus, of course, click back with that. If we're using the standard style autofocus, of course, it's going to adjust way different. Field of view, 90 degrees, 78 degrees, or 65 degrees with this. Now, yes, I can still reposition myself inside this camera. Now, the one thing we are not actually testing right now is the microphone. We're actually going to do that. We're going to change the microphone. We're going to change the whole view, the camera view, and we're going to do everything straight from, of course, that camera from the Logitech MX Brio. Guys, give me a second. Let's swap over straight to microphone and camera. Okay, everything you're hearing and seeing is actually from this Logitech MX Brio, which is actually kind of cool. Now, yes, you guys are seeing me looking off because I'm making sure that my software is still actually loaded and running. Now, it's actually in front of me, so I don't have to worry about that to, creep everybody out because I'm staring off to the side. But the microphone is actually doing very well for background removal. Now, I didn't expect that to do that with this, of course, with that beamforming style microphone. But it is actually doing very well. If I stop talking, of course, you guys don't hear the AC going or the air purifier, which is amazing. Now, if I tap, it's picking a little bit of that up as I tap with that, because, of course, I'm hitting really, really hard for that. Now, yes, I can actually change the field of view still with this to a 78 degree, of course, or to a 65 degree with that. And that's actually cool that I can actually change that field of view to where I want with it. Now, remember, because I changed the field of view, I can readjust my actual picture quality or picture position. Maybe I want to go up and set me up in the middle. I can do all of that with this. That's the cool part about this. Now, this is a great, great camera straight from the box. I love it. The software is easy to use. The camera actually is great quality and it's looking really good. And the microphone is actually doing decently well. So like I was saying, it is a great quality camera right out the box. If you guys need something like that for, of course, streaming, content creating, or anything of the sort, Logitech MX Brio might be a great 4K camera to add to, of course, your kit.